It is football season here in the state of Arizona, and recruiting never stops. Welcome into the Recruiting Roundup. I'm Jordan Ham, joined by Zeke Branham, defensive back over at Skyline. And Zeke had a heck of a first game, had a pick six. Just what did it feel like getting back on the field after such a long offseason?
I mean, it felt amazing. I mean, to get back out there after feeling like we weren't gonna have a season. I mean, it just felt like a relief. Yeah.
What what did you really try to focus on this offseason to make sure you were ready to go as a senior and taking those steps in your development?
Really being a leader more, voicing, being a leader in that way, and just really setting an example for the rest of my teammates.
Mhm. And so, are you trying to be more vocal? Is that what it is, or kind of lead by example? What's your leadership style?
Yeah, I'm trying to be more vocal now, but my main thing is leading by example.
On the recruiting front, I know that you've been talking to plenty of schools, have plenty of offers right now. When we last talked over the summer, seemed like it was quite a busy time for you. Just kind of where are you at in that process? Timeline wise, are you thinking of potentially cutting a list here soon, or maybe even making a commitment?
I'm thinking of making a commitment around later this month or earlier next month in November.
Okay.
That's the timeline I'm looking for right now.
Okay. Cool. In terms of the programs that are recruiting you, who would you say are the group of schools recruiting you hardest right now?
Recruiting my hardest, I'd have to say Army, Princeton, Fresno State, and Air Force. They're all really strong with recruiting right now.
Jalen Early was a guy from Arizona that committed late in the last cycle to Fresno State. Just what do you like about the Bulldogs defense and how you might be able to fit in there?
I really like the way they're going to have me fit into the program, coming in early as a guy that they need. I think that's really important in the process, and just the family like coaching staff they have is that's really important, and that's really my biggest thing about them. Yeah.
And when they talk about that role on the field for you that you could fill, what is that? Where do you think they want you to help most on that defense?
It's a hybrid between outside linebacker and safety. Really has an overhang. It's a really good position. I'm kind of playing that right now with Skyline, so it's going to be a real easy transition. So, yeah.
I know with the academies, Army and Air Force, they both were on you early, and like you said, have been recruiting you quite hard. Just what's the draw to going to an academy like that, and not only on the field but off the field as well?
Really, the biggest thing is it's kind of like the best of both worlds in a way. I mean, they have really strong academics and as well as playing high FBS football. Like Air Force, for example, did really well in their division and their conference, and I know Army does some big things up north too. So it's pretty awesome to do that. But at the same time, the military commitment that's a little drawback, but at the same time, it could benefit in the future with careers. So it's really just the way you look at it. So
It, what's that like trying to juggle that? Obviously, it's you hear so much in recruiting. It's not a 4 year decision; it's a 40-year decision. How hard has it been, kind of putting yourself in that perspective to think that far down the road of what your life could look like with some of these schools?
yeah, really just the biggest thing is looking at the 40 years versus the four. I mean, I'm looking at like it'd be awesome to go to a school like Alabama for say, but at the same time, I got to look for my future, look for, because it's in reality, I'm going for my education. That's the number one thing. And so if I can go to a school that has strong academics and that can set me up for a life after football, after the NFL, maybe, that's my ideal program. So, yeah.
Speaking of academics, the Ivy League, Princeton. I mean, I don't know if you can get much better academic wise over there, but what's been the big draw to them and how they've kind of been able to separate themselves a little bit?
Princeton, they're number one school in the country right now for academics. And just everything I hear about alumni from Princeton and just talking to some alum, it's just real tight. And so I know as soon as I get out of Princeton, if I were to go there, I would be set up in a way where I wouldn't have to worry too much about searching for a career. I would kind of already have people out there. So that's another interesting draw about them. Yeah.
whenever you hang up your cleats, whenever that may be, what would you want to pursue as a career?
I've been thinking engineering paths. I know West Point has one of the best engineering programs in the nation. Engineering is, I was thinking mechanical or something like that, but at the same time, after talking to some alum from Princeton, these are some financial dudes who were doing venture capitalist stuff and stuff like that. That really intrigued me. So I don't know, I'm kind of playing it by ear. I'll probably stick with the engineering, but after that, I'm not too sure. So, yeah.
Sounds like plenty of really good options, no matter where you end up.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Well, Zeke, we appreciate the time and the insight. Know it's been a busy time for you on and off the field, but thanks so much for joining us.
Of course.